So I did a 30-day meditation challenge where I would do one Joe Dispenza morning meditation every morning and one Joe Dispenza evening meditation every evening before going to bed. And I would also do the morning meditation right when I woke up. They were both 20-minute long meditations and I did not miss a single day this whole month. And my results were not what I expected, but I was pleasantly surprised. Hi, I'm Julia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So a few weeks ago, I made a video all about the 30-day meditation challenge I was doing with the morning and evening Joe Dispenza meditations that you can just find off of either Apple Music or Spotify. I think you can also find them on YouTube too, or buy them off of his website. But since I have Apple Music, it was just so easy to just do it on there. Like I said, I did them literally every morning and every night without missing a single day for the past month. And in my previous video, I had already been doing them for 4 days, so I explained some of the things that I noticed and also the basis of what I was doing. So if you want to watch that video, you can click the I or the link in the description, because I talk more in depthly all about how the challenge works and everything that I was going to do for it. But in this video, I'm going to be letting you guys know how I feel after doing the challenge, what I manifested from it, my thoughts about it. Am I going to continue doing these meditations, or am I going to switch things up? That is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So first things first, I was able to check off all of the days that I did the meditations, which was all of the days and nights, because I did both. That was actually kind of more difficult than I thought it would be, because they are 20-minute long meditations, and I don't know about you, but like carving out 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes before bed every single day was a little bit of a challenge for me. Not because I don't have the time, but I just wasn't used to setting aside 40 minutes collectively in a day to meditate. But I actually really appreciated that part of it and was really proud of myself after, because it taught me even more self-discipline than I already had. And now I feel like I could take on a longer meditation, maybe not every single day, but it sort of opened me up to being able to do that and actually wanting to try that. So that's the first thing that I noticed, and I checked it off my checklist, because checking things off just makes me feel really good. And then at the bottom of my checklist, I had my manifestations and my friend's manifestations, because she was also doing the challenge with me. And I actually did achieve 100% one of my manifestations literally by the last day, October 31st. I didn't know if this was going to happen. I had a feeling I was going to get partially to my goal, but I reached the whole goal, and that was the goal that I wanted to manifest the most. So that was what I was putting more of my energy into, and that was $24,000 in my savings. And to give you a little background, I already had $10,000 in my savings, and I was getting really close to having 10,000 more, which would equal 20,000. And I decided I was going to add an extra 4,000 on top of that to save, and I did it. I wasn't able to transfer the remaining $4,000 in, but I was able to see the numbers in my little account thing for where I make my money, and I was like, okay, well, it's there. So I know once it finally processes, I can add it in. But I was able to transfer the $10,000 into my bank account, and now I have $20,000 in my bank account. We're just waiting on the 4,000 to process through, but I did it. Like, the numbers are there. I completed the savings goal, and that made me feel really, really accomplished and proud, because it has been a huge struggle for me to make and save any money in the past, I want to say 4 or 5 years of my life. So hitting that goal really showed me that, like, I am on the right track. I am working through my money blocks. I am manifesting and putting all of my efforts and energy into the things that I love, and money is coming to me through that. And that has felt really amazing. I've spent this whole year working on these financial goals, and they're finally happening. And I honestly think I'm gonna reach my $30,000 savings goal before the end of the year. I set the goal to reach $30,000 in my savings account before January 1st, and I honestly think I'm going to surpass that by a decent amount, just based off of all of the savings that I've done even this month alone. So that was one goal that I definitely achieved, and I do feel like the meditations helped with that, because I had set it as an intention, and whether I would have reached it with the meditations or not, who knows. I think I want to give some credit to the meditations here for helping me reach that. I had 2 other goals, and one of them was working with a clothing brand I like. I didn't reach that goal, but if I'm being honest, I did have a clothing brand that I did like reach out out to me and I just didn't like what they were offering. So I ended up not responding to their email. I could have negotiated. I honestly blame myself for this because I feel like I need to take emails more seriously, and responding to them is just something that I need to discipline myself on, because I'm very like not disciplined with emails whatsoever. I don't enjoy it, but I need to actually put that into practice and put that into play, because if I want to be doing business with other brands and other companies, I need to be on top of my email. So I blame my human self for not realizing that manifestation when it was knocking at my door. And then the next manifestation was to grow a 50% more female audience on Snapchat. I think I wasn't clear enough with that, because I do feel like I increased my female Snapchat audience 50% or more, just because I grew my Snapchat so much in this past month view-wise, but I wasn't clear enough with it to say like the ratio of 50% male to 50% female. So I feel like I just wasn't clear about it in my intention. I think I should have said, here's how much percentage of females I want to be watching my content, and here's how much percentage of males. And I only said 50% female, and I think the universe registered that as, oh, we're just gonna bring you more people and not change the ratio, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. And the more people, the merrier. Although I will say I prefer to have a more female-based audience, just because I feel like women can relate more to my content than men. But that being said, I'm not mad about manifesting 50% more humans watching my content. So that is my opinion on that, and it just makes me realize that I need to be more clear in my intentions and more clear with my asks from the universe. It's kind of like asking for a husband, and then the universe brings you a husband, but it's not your husband, it's someone else's husband. I hear that story all the time, and I think it's hilarious. So this kind of reminded me of that. Like one time my mom, she wanted to manifest a picture with an eagle. So the universe delivered, but it wasn't the type of eagle she thought she was going to manifest a picture of. She manifested a picture with a Philadelphia Eagles sports player. So that's the universe just taking things very literally and making it whatever it happens to be. So a 50% more female audience could just be 50% more females watching without changing the ratio of men and women, which now I get it. Gotta clarify, gotta be specific if I want specific results. So that is definitely something I learned from this meditation manifestation challenge, is to be more specific in what I ask for from the universe, because the universe can bring me whatever I want if I put that intention out there. And the more specific I am, the more specific my results will be. But also in that same breath, I feel like it's okay to sometimes be general with your manifestations, because you're never going to be brought something that you can't handle or are not ready for. So when it comes to something where you're kind of unsure of what you want or don't want, it is better to be general about it and just ask for the specific feeling. Be general about the manifestation and be specific about the feeling when you are unsure of what you want. And I feel like that is a really fun way to manifest, because when you do that, you're opening yourself up to receiving more physical surprises with that expected, assumed favorable emotion behind it that you wanted all along. And sometimes those are the best manifestations, because you're leaving the door open and you're leaving room for the universe to bring you something potentially even better than what you thought you specifically wanted. So yeah, I think both are valid, and both ways of manifesting can be really great. So it's just on a case-by-case basis which works better for you in that moment. And I love both ways of manifesting. I love all ways of manifesting. I think living life on this planet, we are constantly manifesting everything at all times. We are master manifestors. So when we're able to get really intentional behind it and manifest from these higher emotional states, it gets to be really, really fun. But on the flip side, when we're in these lower emotional states, manifesting is just not nearly as fun, because we're not manifesting as favorable 3D realities as we could be if we were manifesting from the higher emotional states. So all that being said, I kept a journal on basically just every day, like signs, synchronicities that I experienced, feelings that I felt, things I manifested, like smaller level things that I manifested that were interesting to me. A lot of it were different signs. Like the amount of angel numbers I saw was insane. I always see an insane amount of angel numbers numbers, but this month it definitely increased, and I actually manifested going on a little road trip across the East Coast through New England. And on that road trip, I kid you not, I saw so many angel numbers. I saw so many signs and synchronicities. It was really beautiful and amazing, and it just was so validating in letting me know like I am on the right path. I am following my joy and experiencing new things and proving to myself how capable I am of doing anything that I want to do. So that was really amazing to realize and sit with myself and reflect on, because every day I would keep, like I said, this journal where I would go over everything that sort of happened in that day. And not just that day, I would also reflect on how I felt in the meditations. I would reflect on my dreams, because there would be manifestations, signs, synchronicities, moments of connecting to the divine and source that I just wanted to keep track of. And you know, those would happen at any moment of the day, night, or meditation. So that was really nice to be able to keep a list of, so that I could check back in on. And it would take me so long to go over every single thing that I noted, but I definitely want to give you guys a few fun ones that I just thought were either interesting or really cool. Obviously, like the manifesting the money that I really truly wanted was the biggest one of all, because I've had so many financial blocks. But there were other things that were super small that just like were really fun and interesting to me. Here's an example of a small one that like genuinely does not matter, but it kind of just let me know how connected I was to source. So when I was in, I want to say Rhode Island, I had a dream where I was with this guy named Brandon, and there was a lot of emphasis on his name being Brandon for whatever reason. I don't know any Brandons, and to me that name is just like any other name, but there was so much emphasis in the dream that I remembered it when I woke up. And then I was at the coffee shop with my friend, and I checked my phone because I got a message from my Airbnb person about all the like pre-preparation for the Airbnb, and guess what the Airbnb person's name was? Brandon. And I took that as a sign of, oh, I am so aligned, like I picked the right Airbnb, and my dream was like confirming that with me, putting the emphasis on Brandon in the dream to Brandon in real life. And you know, some may say it's a coincidence, but because I don't know any Brandons, I was like, this is confirmation. And also I think it was more confirmation because the Airbnb that we stayed at the next night in Boston was like not good, and the Airbnb that we stayed at, which was Brandon's Airbnb, was so nice. And it was sort of like, kind of in hindsight, letting me and my friend know like we should have just booked the Salem Airbnb for 2 nights, because it was only 40 minutes from Boston, and just completely skipped out on the Boston Airbnb, because the Boston Airbnb was the same price as the Salem one, and it was like a really bad Airbnb, not in a great area, not a nice interior, versus the Salem Airbnb, which was super nice, not a bad area. It was a whatever area, but like genuinely a very great Airbnb, like probably one of the best Airbnbs I've stayed at. So I just took that as an interesting sign and pretty funny to me. Another thing that I thought was honestly hilarious, I genuinely felt like this was a sign from the universe. Me and my friend were leaving a restaurant in Salem, and Salem is known for the witch trials. So I feel like the veil is pretty thin there. There's a lot of mystical energy. There's a lot of occult stores, a lot of people who believe in witches, who feel like they are witches. And you know, me being a spiritual person, I was really excited to go there because I felt like, oh, the energy is going to be lit, especially because it was right before Halloween. Like, what more perfect of a trip could I take on the East Coast right before Halloween? Like, it was so perfect, and the timing was perfect, and everything just aligned so well. And the funniest thing, me and my friend are walking back from the restaurant, and there's a big spider on my car door, and normally I would be very freaked out. It was on the outside, so it was like, you know, I'm cool with that, but I would normally be a little bit disturbed because I'm like, ah, spider. But I looked at it and I'm like, nah, that spider's a sign that I am in the right place, because Halloween, spiders, witches, cats, like what more Halloween energy could I ask for? And I really wanted to experience a full-blown Halloween Halloween celebration. But it gets even funnier because as I am like communicating to my friend from across the car, oh my god, there's a spider on my door. There's literally a man walking with his girlfriend up to their car, and he says, hold on, I'll open the door for you. As I'm literally saying to my friend, I can't open the door, there's a spider on it. And then he responds to me saying, no, not you, her door. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, oh my god, the timing of this is so funny. So he literally like opens the door for his girlfriend, puts her in the car. He doesn't put her in the car, sorry. She gets in the car and he says, you don't want to watch this. Like he's trying to protect her from the spider. I thought it was cute and super funny. And he's like, and by the way, I'm gonna help you with that spider. I was like, oh, great, like perfect timing because I don't want to touch the spider, but it's a funny sign and I didn't have to deal with the spider at all because this man, I'm literally like, please don't kill the spider. And he's like, I'm not gonna kill it. He literally picks it up, like plucks it off my car and like throws it into a bush. And I'm just like, what? I don't know. I just thought that was the funniest like synchronicity ever of the spider being there because I wanted a full in-depth Halloween celebration, but also like me not even having to deal with the spider because somebody literally showed up to remove the spider as I was acknowledging the spider's existence. Other things that I manifested that were really small things were like literally, okay, maybe this isn't super small and this is like something I've been manifesting consistently for a while, but I think I've gotten even better, which is crazy because I didn't even know I could. And that is manifesting parking literally everywhere. I mean, no joke, like it's just gotten better and better and I love it. So that increased this month. I also manifested a lot of luck. For example, I drove all the way to my favorite smoothie spot, which is like a 20 to 30 minute drive, and I got the last Halloween smoothie of the year. If I would have showed up and it would have been gone, like that would have been so sad, but my luck is just on point. Like the amount of luck that I've been manifesting, insane. Like even when I was in Boston, I pulled up to a parking garage because all the street parking was permit parking, and I literally got the last possible parking spot in the garage before they were going to have to take my keys to valet. And I did not want to valet, period, because we had all of our bags and luggage in the car and I didn't want to run the risk of like anything getting stolen. So that was also just like sheer luck that I keep manifesting. I keep seeing 777, which is my sign of luck. It's been a lot of that, and I really appreciate manifesting luck because it just makes everything more convenient and makes everything flow better and keeps me more in the present moment, so I don't have to be like, you know, I'm struggling to figure this out and everything is stressful. It's like, oh no, everything is aligning, everything is happening for me, and all I have to do is show up. And that's what it feels like when I manifest the feeling of luck. It's like, I just had to show up and it all worked out. And I love manifesting that. That is a feeling that I want to continue to manifest in all different versions and ways because it's really exciting and it surprises me every time. Another thing that I've gotten better at is asking my body to do stuff for me. So I manifested asking my body to wake me up at a certain hour. I need to remind myself to do that because I always forget how much control I really do have over my body. And through the meditations, I was reminded of that and reminded that I can ask my physical being to do stuff for me. So the waking up one was a good one. Another one is just noticing and feeling my own energy. I wouldn't really categorize this along the lines of like physical manifestations, but I did notice like while doing the meditations, it was helping me to get more clear and get more attuned to my own energy. And now I feel like I can kind of tune in to my energy at any point in the day. I will say it's a lot easier at night and in the morning, like right when I wake up and right before I go to bed, to really feel like my own vibrational field and my energy vibrating. But now I can also tune into a crystal's energy. Like I can hold a crystal and feel the energy coming off of it. And I think the reason is because I would occasionally hold a crystal during the meditation and tune into the crystal's energy. And when I do that, I can feel the energy going through me as well. It feels very supernatural. And I think it's a pretty incredible feeling. Speaking about that, when I was in Salem, my friend went and did a tarot reading, and while she was doing the tarot reading, I was just like walking around the occult shop, just looking at everything, being really intrigued, and I found a pendulum. And I've played with pendulums in the past, but I hadn't thought about them in years. And the guy at the store was showing me how it worked, and I was able to really tap into the pendulum and my higher self and just my subconscious in general and ask it questions, and it gave me true answers. I was just asking more validating questions like, show me me yes, show me no. Once it showed me that, I was like, okay, am I wearing a black jacket? Yes. Is my birthday July 4th? Yes. Things like that, and I'm like, oh wow. And I will say I was keeping my hand very still, very steady. I would ask it to still itself, to stop. It would stop, and I was just so intrigued by it that I literally bought a pendulum the next day, a crystal pendulum, and took it home with me. I will say I haven't had as much luck with the new crystal pendulum that I bought, but I haven't tried it out as much as I could, and I am still learning. But it was really fun to use the pendulum in the store. It was a wooden one. I don't know if that like makes a difference. And there was like a little wooden plate underneath that said like yes, no, yes, no. So maybe I just need to get myself a little plate to put underneath my pendulum, because I was just being like, show me yes, show me no, but like I don't know which is yes or no. I do feel a lot more tuned into my own energy thanks to the meditations. And now that the challenge is over, I do want to continue doing some of Joe Dispenza's meditations. I guess my complaints, we could say, about it is doing the same morning meditation and night meditation every day for 30 days does feel a little bit tedious after a while. Like I kind of towards the end started to doze off into dreamland and fall asleep, sometimes in the morning and sometimes at night before the meditation even ended. And I feel like maybe if I would switch it up and do like different meditations every other day, that might help. I definitely want to try some of his other meditations and see how those go. But another part of me also wants to try doing my own meditations, either making my own guided meditation so it could be more specific to what I want to manifest or specific feelings I want to feel. But a part of me also wants to try just doing like more transcendental meditations or mantra chanting meditations, which I actually tried doing recently. About a week ago, I did a mantra meditation when I woke up in the middle of the night and was like stressing about my car. I was like, you know what? All of this stress is not going to do anything for you. What you're going to do right now is repeat this specific mantra that I literally made up in my head to like de-stress me. And I repeated that over and over and over again in my head till I felt calm and like at peace. And I may have dozed off to sleep afterwards, or I may have just felt peaceful and then fell asleep afterwards. I can't remember specifically, but that mantra meditation that I just like literally made up in my brain in that moment worked. So I think I want to try doing some of those. I want to just try a bunch of different meditations out now that I have done the challenge and I have this open space between morning and night where I can just do any meditation. So I'm gonna definitely try some new things and see how they go for me and see what I like best. And maybe I'll do another challenge soon, or maybe I'll just find something that I want to incorporate into my morning and night routine just because I like it and that is what I want to stick to meditation wise. But for now, I'm in the experimental phase and I want to try a bunch of things out. So that is it for my experience with this 30-day meditation challenge. Overall, I feel like it was very helpful and I'm really glad that I did it, and I'm very proud of myself for sticking it all the way through. And if you either did this meditation challenge or plan to do it, please let me know because I'm definitely curious. And I will see you all in next week's video. I love you guys so much.